Man, I saw this going on with DK Metcalf last night, Dave, and all I could think about was, oh, boy, here we go. It's going to give all of his haters ammunition. He's giving them ammunition. And as it turns out, you look on social media, and the commentary was as if he does this every game. Every game. Here we go again. Here we go again with DK. First, let's just establish, right, Lefko? This is the first personal foul this year.
Yes,
right?
That's what Brady Henderson tweeted after it happened.
First time this year.
What else?
So let's not pretend that this is an every game thing. I'm not defending. Yeah. We'll get into what he did because it was absurd. But let's just keep things in perspective here, because that was sort of the narrative, the commentary of people, oh, typical DK, here you go again. I'm like, when was the last time this happened? We looked at this is the first time this year. So let's try to keep that in perspective, that this is not an every game thing. However, what he did last night was just beyond dumb. There's no excusing it. You're not going to find a bigger supporter of DK than you or me. I'm not justifying anything. He hit that guy 3 times and then headbutted him, and still didn't have a flag thrown. And then the referee came over, and then he hits him in the face again, or hits the other guy that was in. So I'm thinking, dude, you were just begging for the flag. You were begging for it. It was dumb, and it was selfish. Sorry. Love DK. Can't have it. Can't, especially when your offense is just doing nothing out there. You are putting up no points. You can ill afford a 15-yard penalty. I don't know what was said. I don't know what triggered him. He was still on the sidelines yelling at the players on the field. Looked like he was yelling at people on the sidelines. He just seemed like he lost it.
Yeah, it looked like maybe there was a little bit of a argument between him and one of the coaches, and so yeah, it kind of breaks my heart to see that, because I think deep down the guy really is one of the best team players, but he had 3 catches for 42 yards, but and the other thing you could say is that, like, okay, well, everybody's targeting him. Like, well, yeah, they are,
because they're hoping for that reaction
because of that. So yeah, it's he's put himself into kind of a spot there, right? So now, if you want to look at his production and, watching him block, I mean, he is very unselfish, really does a good job with that. But that's tough to defend.
Yeah, you can't have it. It's just, to me, it's really black and white. I'm not saying the guy didn't have it coming. Maybe he said something really, really awful. I don't know. But you can't, I mean, one shot is one thing. Second shot, headbutt, then another shot in front of the official. I'm like, what are you doing, man? Come on. You got away with the first 3, 4. Time to cool it. And then this didn't help him. I don't know if you've heard this, but him explaining sort of what happened there. 2
personal fouls, though. What did Coach say about keeping the emotions in check?
I'm a grown man, and my emotions are in check. So, like I said, it's a physical game out there, and especially when I'm out there, I'm a tested DB.
See, it just sounded kind of defiant. It just sounded like...
Yeah, but, I don't... Remember we went through this, was it last year or 2 years ago? I know it was with Pete. And remember there was some kind of a disagreement. But there was 2 conversations. There's him and the coach, and then there's him and media people.
Right.
So, and I get that. I don't think that response is anywhere near how he really feels. I think it's him just saying, I'm not going to answer to the media.
Yeah, and I hope that's it. I hope you're right on that.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't come off well, in my opinion. I heard that and I went, oh, dude, come on, man. That makes it sound like you felt justified in what you did, and you weren't.
Yeah, I think he's just being defiant there because of the media. And look, I'm in the media. So, but, yeah, I don't. It sounded like she wanted him to atone for his behavior, and he wasn't having it. So there's that. I mean, I don't put much into that response. Is my point. That I think he's just saying it because he wants to make sure that, hey, look, I'm accountable to my family and my team. Media really low on the list. So, and like I said, we're in the media, so I get it, and, she certainly had to ask that question. I'm not sure who that was.
I don't know who that was either. Lefko, do you know?
Jane Slater from NFL Network.
Oh, okay.
I believe I was the only person that really asked about it, or that he answered on camera. So
yeah. Yeah, so I mean, the defiance doesn't bother me there in that case, but it's all about how does he rectify this versus with the team, and we saw Reek Woolen get suspended for something, so I don't know,
for a drive or
this,
opening drive or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. He was on the bench. I wonder if there might be some disciplinary action with McDonald, because you said this is the first personal foul, right?
Yeah, according to our guy Brady Henderson.
Yeah, and then the other thing is the one thing I think that bothered me the most, but I have to say I didn't hear what he was saying, but I'm trying to remember the name of the coach, but it looked like they were going back and forth, and so yeah, that part of it. I mean, you got to take what the coaches are telling you, and, and maybe he went in afterwards and apologized and said, "I'll get it right," and this and that, but I don't think he's gonna ever share any of that with the media.
I hope you're right. I really hope if he's defiant to us, to the media, I don't care. That doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
As long as he's good with his teammates and the coaches. If he's behind closed doors, like you said, saying, "Coach, sorry, man, I blew it. I responded poorly. Whatever. My bad. I apologize. That won't happen again. Whatever. As long as that's happening or they're all good, then him speaking to the media, not being defiant, whatever, that's fine. It's just when you saw it at the time, I'm sitting there going, dude, what are you doing, man?
Yeah.
You can't excuse it. You just cannot. That cannot happen. Period. End of story. And then to hear him sound basically sort of justifying it, I was like, ugh, you're just giving ammo to everybody that wants him out of here. He's a diva. Trade him. And again, the impression is that, oh, he does this there. Here he goes again. I'm like, what do you mean again? When's the last time this happened? So he just. Really what it is, Dave, is he put us in a tough spot to defend him.
How dare you do that, DK?
Well, I'm watching it going, dude, what are you doing?
I'm going to have a talk with him, Bob. I'll have a talk with him.
We stick up for you every week to the people that want you out of here and think you're this, you're a problem, you're an attitude, you're this, and now you're giving them that ammo. Yeah. What are you doing? Help me help you. Come on.
Yeah, I really don't think. I mean, a lot of people say, I don't care, and usually that's not true, right?
Yeah.
I mean, usually deep down you do care, and I think he does. By the way, the coach was Frisman Jackson. That's the guy. He played in the league from Cleveland Browns 2002 to 6, and with the Jets in 2007, and he's been a coach for a long time. And they were, I'm sure he knows how to deal with DK. And then also, there's game player, and then there's meeting player. I mean, you change. When you go on the field, it's just a totally different type of guy, and I think that they have to manage that part of it. But yeah, I'm with you. I did kind of feel that you just identified it. I didn't really know what I was feeling there, but the fact that you're just making it tougher for us.
Yeah, help us.
I want to go down there, DK. And say,
help us help you.
And and of course he doesn't care about that.
Yeah.
And I hope he's not. I mean, I always say these guys don't pay like $20,000 for a sound system in their car to listen to talk radio. But, I don't think I truly think he doesn't care. But the other thing about DK is, I guess why I don't worry about him is, his dad played in the NFL, and, his uncle, or I think it was his cousin or something, Eric Metcalf, he played in the NFL. So he knows it. He knows what the score is. So, but yeah, it was just a little frustrating. But second game, it's kind of funny though. It does, if you look back on DK and you're like, oh, there he goes again. Well, you're right. It hasn't happened this season, but those things stick with people.
Yeah, and it supports, if you've got a bias one way or the other, it supports it. See,
exactly.
There he is again.
Remember Jermaine Kearse?
Yeah.
Every time I see Jermaine Kearse, I'm like, you're one of my favorite Seahawks. He is. He had some of the most clutch catches ever, but because something happened, I don't know if he had drops at UW or whatever.
He did.
Yeah, and you got in the NFL, and he was a hero for this team. So I think it kind of follows you around, that reputation.